Stark Media on location here at Fairless High School. TJ Downing with head coach of the Fairless Falcons, AJ Sarbaugh. Coach, it's early this morning. I don't know if you lost your voice more during calling games last year or this morning yelling at your boys in the weight room, but just talk about what you did here this morning. Talk about the process here in the offseason and where you guys are at.
Yeah, we're at the end of our 6-week cycle. So Monday we maxed out with bench and hang clean, and today was squat. We go at 6 a.m. so that way all of our kids can be in the weight room and those other guys can go to baseball practice and track practice after school, because we really believe in building that team chemistry and camaraderie during the off season. And as you saw, we've got about 30 kids in here working really hard, and they're pushing each other, and we're going up numbers wise, and we're pretty pleased with where we're at in the grind right now, like you said.
So when you look at coming off of last season, best season you guys have had here since 1979, right? You guys were able to put a piece of the Pac-7 title on the trophy case. Who are some guys, carryovers from last year's team, that have really stepped to the forefront as leaders of this group?
I would say Luke Yoder's doing a really good job. He's a 3-year starter, 2-way starter. Last year he was a captain. Brody Pumnio, also a 3-year starter, captain. Those guys kind of lead the skill. And then with the linemen, Xavier Collier will be a junior. Joe Sparn will be a senior, Tom Fox will be a senior, and Dom Emer. I think we've got 6 really good guys that are doing a great job, and they've played a lot of quarters for us, a lot of experience. They know what the weight room should be like, and they're doing a great job with the upperclassmen and those freshmen that are coming in now too.
Your messages to the guys as you kind of broke down here at the end and sent them off to class, that the next 6 weeks coming up, April, the weather gets a little bit nicer. You got baseball, you got track, staying dialed in. What's next here for the football team? I know you and I had spoke about a combine. Talk about that.
Yeah, we went down and visited with Pick Central a couple years ago, and they do a combine where they do bench press, medicine ball throw, and then they divide that total by your 40-yard dash and your shuttle run. So it gives those guys that are stronger, your linemen, a chance, and then it also gives your skill guys a chance. So it's a proportion to figure out who our best athlete, strongest guy is. So we'll do that at the end of May, and the top 10 guys get medals. And then we also give pound club shirts based on where they are, hang clean, bench, and squat at the end of May. So we try to keep those guys motivated. We've been lifting since December. These guys wanted to go 30 days after Poland. So we've been grinding since then, and it's not easy getting up at 6 a.m. every day. And like you said, the weather's getting nicer, track, baseball, and we've been pretty motivated. We've had a solid 30 kids every day, but this is when it gets really hard. When you get into June, it's summer, and it's 7:30, 9:30. You get the ball out, and you're lifting, conditioning, and throwing. And then July, you get the helmet on. It's camp, and August, the season's here. So I think April, May, what we found out the past few years and talking to other coaches, this is the hardest part of the 12-month year, where the weight room is a grind. There's only so much you can do, and you got to keep kids motivated and keep coming. And the weather's getting nice. Everyone wants to be outside. So these next 6 weeks will be really big for us.
Circle back to a word you just used there a couple times, motivation. Going back to your days at North Canton, being under a guy like Don Hertler and your father, being able to see how they kind of ran programs. And then you're in there this morning, man, early with the boys, barking out loud. Where does your energy come from for this? Where does your motivation come from? And what are certain things from your past, from some of your mentors, that you kind of carry with you on a daily basis to kind of keep pushing these kids?
Yeah. I think something that my dad talked about, that Coach Hertler talked about, that I got from Wakefield too when he was at Mountain, talking to him, is that you don't ever want a kid to come back and say, you didn't put him in position, or you didn't give them your best effort. You don't want to cheat the kids. And that's what every day I try to bring great energy. And it's a little bit easier now because it's going into year 5, and those other kids are bringing energy, and they know what the weight room's supposed to be looking like and acting like. And at the end of the day, I think Coach Hertler, my dad, those guys, they always wanted you to have the most success possible. And as a coach, it's our job to put those kids in position to be successful. And at Hoover, we always talked about winning a Federal League title and making the playoffs. And we had some really good teams there, but here at Fairless, we haven't had quite the history that I was a part of in high school. So You saw in the wall, we're 1-5 as a program in playoffs. We're hoping to try to change that. We've only won 3 league titles. It'd be great to go back to back this year. We've, in 62 years of Fairless football, we've had 3 winning seasons in a row once. So if we have a winning season this year, that would be the second time. And we always compare ourselves to the records of other people in Stark County. If you go out in the locker room, they post an article 10 years ago, and Fairless was 19th in Stark County. We were dead last, and since then, the past 4 years, we've kept track, and we're now, over the last 4 years, we're 10th in the county in overall record. So we're always giving our kids something. You're competing. We might not play Hoover, Lake, Jackson, Louisville, but hey, we're competing against them on the wall because we believe Stark County is the best county for high school football. We're competing for a year on the banner. We always talk about that. We're competing to change Fairless football and our legacy and try to do something that's only been done once before, and that's winning back-to-back league titles. That's having 3 winning seasons in a row. So I think that's the fun thing, is that we're chasing things that haven't been accomplished here, and they're in grasp, and our kids are just constantly trying to grow the program and take that step forward, and they see that, and we see it as coaches, and I just want to try to help them reach all their goals and make the community, the school district, the football team proud of what we accomplish on the field, off the field, and how we represent everybody.
Yeah, and you could really tell that last year, the community and the support that's come out for you guys, and setting the bar high. You know as well as I do that, with that comes your expectations as a coach, and really expound upon philosophies of a coach here for me. You come back, you have your starting quarterback back. You mentioned some of the big boys up front that'll be back. How does that affect you and your coaching style? Does that allow you to be more aggressive in what you do, to take more chances? Because these guys have been through the fire. You know them well. You've firmly been here long enough to know these kids as they were before they even started a varsity snap. How does that change your mindset going into a football game?
I think it's just that trust factor. Like we talk to the kids, if you're willing to get up at 6 a.m. and be here 3 days a week and bust your butt and work as hard as you can, then we're going to be able to trust you, in overtime going for 2, or when someone else is going for 2 to win the game, when it's that fourth quarter and you're gassed, and just being with these guys every day. And I think another thing that people don't talk about is being a teacher. And I have these kids in the classroom, so I don't just see them in the weight room and at practice. I have them in class, and building those relationships are just so important. And I know just by looking at them on the field or talking to them, I've got a feeling and that trust which way we want to go. And I think that's a really good point, that I can trust a Carson Colucci, a Brody Pumnio, our offensive line. If they come to me and say, hey, I think we've got this or that, I'm going to listen. They've had a lot of experience. They've been in our system. They know what we're trying to do. So I just think that's a huge benefit. And, as we get things going, now our middle school and our coming up kids, they've been in our system. They know our terminology. So it's even getting better year by year as a program standpoint, not just at the varsity.
TJ Downing for Stark Media here with head coach of the Fairless Falcons, AJ Sarbaugh. All right, man, I know class is getting ready to start, so we're going to wrap up with one final question, man. Tell me about what fatherhood's like. I got to experience it for the first time 4 years ago, and you're fresh into it now, man. Tell us what that feeling's like.
It's incredible. I'm just really excited for Connor and my wife and our other daughter, Cece. Every day's a joy. You get to come home and there's your baby boy waiting with your daughter, and just going out to eat or taking a walk and people coming over to see him. And the Fairless community has been awesome to us. He's been blessed in Falcon gear that'll last him, and it just puts a smile on your face. It's exciting every day. You see him when you leave and you come back, and he's getting bigger, and it's people tell you it's awesome and this or that, but it's kind of like how we tell our kids all the time. Your senior year, these 4 years are going to fly by, and they don't realize it, and everyone tells you it's awesome to be a dad, and then when you actually experience it, it's one of the greatest feelings you'll ever have. I'm blessed, and he's healthy, and he's looking forward to Friday nights in the fall here at Fairless, Ohio.
Oh, I bet, man. I'll tell you what, I thought I was going to play football forever, and once you're in it, you feel like it's never going to end, but it does surely end quick, man. But I appreciate you taking the time, appreciate you having me out here. Stark Media is going to be checking in with you guys as we get closer to the Combine and we get into 7-on-7s throughout the summertime. Great stuff that you're doing here, and I know that the support you get is garnered because of your hard work. So thank you again, AJ, for the time, man, and keep rolling along, man.
Thanks for coming down, TJ. We appreciate it.